Hey guys, welcome back to the Average Uninformed, where we talk about things we sometimes don't know enough about. Except maybe this week, we know quite a bit about Spider-Man PS4, as well as Antman and The Wasp. Enjoy!
Yeah. Are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still recording.
So all of that was on there. You just leave it in. Just me getting up and grabbing books.
And then me just going through my phone.
Yeah.
Just like you hear the audible.
No.
But this orange drink is surprisingly strong.
Yeah. Well, there's more if you want.
How much did you put in?
I put in a shot.
That's it?
Yeah.
I am getting old.
Maybe it's just not mixed well. I didn't I didn't stir it.
Oh, okay. I thought you. Most people would put the shot in first before the orange juice, but
yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that's all right. I'm just drinking a shot of vodka before. I probably need it.
So, Victor, what do you want to talk about this week?
Did you see a new Spider-Man suit?
No, it's actually probably be the one.
Did you see a Spider-Man suit? The new black and red one?
I did see that. It looks very like superior Spider-Man. Like
it does.
Yeah. And kind of like the old Ditko ones, like Amazing Fantasy 15.
Well, when I saw the title for it on Comic Book Movie, I was expecting that. But basically just the regular suit without the blue and black instead. But I was kind of surprised. They took a lot of the red out.
Yeah, and they have there's like white around the emblem, and then the back spider is just all white.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah,
do you like it?
I mean, it's fine. It looks good because it's very reminiscent of the Homecoming suit. So it still has like I always liked the black, like breaking up the costume, the Homecoming suit. So I liked it, and of course it'll have the same eyes and stuff. So it's weird because I think he has 3 different suits in this movie because he has the stealth suit.
But is it the stealth suit though? You think it's the same as this one?
No, because there was a close up of the stealth suit and it had like a shield logo on it. And
oh, really?
Yeah. And I think that the eyes are more like goggles, kind of like the Spider-Man Noir costume.
See this? I'm trying to pull up. Does he have red boots on that red and black suit?
I think so.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Yeah. And it looks like they are leaning into the Zendaya being the love interest.
How do you feel about that?
I don't mind. I thought it was kind of dumb that they're like, hey, I'm MJ, but I'm not. Like, yeah. Like I get that it was like kind of like a hint of like, yeah, she's going to be the love interest, but don't call it butter if it's margarine. You know what I mean?
I've never heard that.
I just made that up. Yeah, like I like her fine, like, and she'll be. I think they'll develop her character a little bit further in this one, but like,
so I'm just looking at
I like her as a love interest, is what I'm trying to say. But I think it's kind of odd that they were just like, yeah, but call me MJ, because then it just kind of like cuts it off of like there will never be a Mary Jane Watson.
Yeah, you know they took that option out.
Or if they did, it's going to be weird now because it's like I also dated a girl in high school and we called MJ. Isn't that weird? Like,
but her name wasn't Mary Jane. It was just
Michelle
Pfeiffer.
Joe Josephat.
I was looking at this picture. He looks kind of weird. Like obviously they're the same height, but like her latching onto him just looks.
She's probably heavier than he thinks. I noticed too, she's not wearing any
underwear. You're gross.
No, the zip line or whatever. What do you call it? The harness.
Yeah,
she's not wearing it. And like they shoot. If you watch the set video, they shoot her.
Is.
Oh, she is.
It's on her back there. You can hardly see it though.
Oh, okay. Because I thought she wasn't, and they like zip her up like 15 feet in the air. You know,
yeah, they're just. Yeah, she's not worth that much money. So unlike Tom Holland, who's strapped in at 5 different points,
and like could very easily be a stuntman in that case, but whatever.
They have a guy with a trampoline underneath it.
It's clearly Tom Holland though, because no one has that. Is that short? Except for Tom Cruise.
Wait, how tall is Tom Holland? How tall is Tom Holland?
I don't know. There's no way to find out.
Tom Holland age? Tom Holland. No, I don't
height,
care.
And then it'll do it in meters because we're in Canada. And then you're like, I don't know what that means.
Do you know what 173 centimeters are?
1.7 meters.
You don't know your height in centimeters?
No, I don't actually.
I'm 165.
Okay, so he's a little taller than you.
He's 5'9", I think.
5'9". I'm 5'9".
Oh, see, you're short.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, now
in feet, please.
Now I'm a little annoyed. I don't know. 5'8.11". Okay.
So he's an inch shorter than me. He looks so tiny.
He's actually 0.89 inches shorter than you.
Well, I guess it's because Thor is 6'8" or something like that. But
he's a god. Makes sense.
He's Australian. Yeah. So you liked the suit then?
I think so. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
The first shot I saw of it, you didn't see the inside of his arm, so it looked like his arms only had the red bands and the fingers, but having the red on the inside, I always like the red gloves. So yeah. Also, had a bunch of other news and a bunch of Marvel news this week.
Yeah, it was Iron Fist was canceled.
I haven't seen.
I didn't watch the second season, so that's probably why no one did.
Well, to be fair, I wanted to. I saw a few clips from it where he was fighting. I was like, oh, the fighting looks a little bit better this time compared to season 1.
Okay. I never really liked Iron Fist to begin with. I nothinged him.
Why? Because he's Asian?
He's not Asian.
All right.
He's white. With blonde hair. You're thinking Shang-Chi.
That sounds pretty Asian.
Yeah, but I kind of just nothinged him. I liked the idea of him with Heroes for Hire, but then when they did the show, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can get into this. And then the guy was just a charisma vacuum. And I got tired of him saying, my name's Danny Rand. So I was like, So I didn't really like the first season. So enough that I was like, I'm not coming back.
He kind of went from hippie dude in the park to angsty teenager.
Yeah, that was the one time that they did a love scene in one of those shows where I was like, oh, don't sleep with that guy.
Wait, what's that lady's name? The night nurse? That's not night nurse.
It's not Colleen Wing. That's his sidekick. Claire Temple.
Has she slept with everyone?
She didn't sleep with Danny. And
really?
I think it was implied that she slept with Matt, but there wasn't a.
Of course she did. Did you see him? You see what Matt looked like?
He didn't. Yeah, she's definitely slept with Luke Cage, though.
Oh, yeah.
Who hasn't, though?
Luke Cage.
Big chocolate milkshake of a man. Yeah. Do you have any other thoughts about Iron Fist?
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm hoping also that they canceled it because they're going to do Heroes for Hire. They're like, well.
Yeah, that would kind of be the nicer thing to do.
The whole idea of canceling Iron Fist was just to kind of draw attention to it. It's oh, was season 2 really that bad? I'll watch it.
Okay.
Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why they canceled. Oh, there's Heroes for Hire now.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess I didn't see enough of it in Defenders to be oh yeah, I definitely want that. I don't know how well they bounce off each other. I didn't watch Luke Cage season 2 either, where he shows up. Apparently that was one of the better episodes.
All right.
But I didn't watch that. I'm kind of lost interest in all the Netflix Marvel shows, with the exception of Daredevil. I think it's because they're all kind of the same, at least in tone.
Tone and episode structure?
Yeah. And exactly.
You think it's done by episode 6?
Well, and then episode 6, there's a reason they find a way to get rid of the hero for an episode. He's unconscious. We have to wait for him to wake up. Let's concentrate on other things.
Flashback episode for the first season of them.
Yeah. And it was just by the time we got to Iron Fist, it's okay, you're the plot's different, but you're not really doing anything new. And so I think everyone just kind of got tired of it. And then Defenders was kind of lackluster. I don't think a lot of people, I think people were more expecting something like the Avengers, and it was just it was very small scale.
Every episode, it's a different hero, and then by halfway through they meet up and.
Well, maybe not that, but just more. I think maybe as good as quality as the Avengers, and it was still very much a TV show. There's a dragon underneath the city, and they just showed the bones, and they all just fight in hallways, and it just looked like all the other shows. You know what I mean? It didn't look like they pulled out all the stops for it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Avengers, did you hear the news? Apparently, the Spider-Man PS4 game is going to have the Avengers in it.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, they're saying how they're going to do an Avengers game and it's going to be linked to that Spider-Man game.
I have heard that like they were kind of hoping or planning to connect, like Spider-Man PS4 was the first in a universe and they would kind of connect stuff. Who's making the Avengers game? Do you know?
I would assume it's the same guys that make.
Like, so Insomniac would be making it?
Is that who made it?
Yeah.
Wow, I don't pay attention to that shit anymore.
No. But, I mean, I loaded up Spider-Man enough times that I caught the logo, but.
My PlayStation doesn't turn off. It goes to sleep.
Okay.
So every time I turn it on, I'd see the Spider-Man loading screen come up.
I pay for Hydro, so I turn it off.
It doesn't take up that much power, though. Or maybe it does. Maybe that's why my Hydro goes so high.
Maybe.
But it's consistently high. Like I was away for 5 months. And the bill, like we usually pay bi-monthly, $120. I was away for 5 months and it was about the same, $110.
Oh.
And the PS4 was unplugged.
Well, your roommate has a lot of power tools and stuff, right?
No, they're all hand tools.
They're all hand tools.
Yeah.
That's a mystery. You need to look into that.
I bet it's the fridge.
Or the dishwasher. Or the fact you leave your PS4 on all the time.
No, the PS4 was unplugged.
Okay. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, maybe it might be the video that I watched too, because they showed a bit of like an interview saying how, you see that? Or they're saying the guy was like, there was a lot of pressure from Disney and Marvel saying that like this needs to be the Iron Man of like.
Oh, okay. I didn't
the
see
Marvel
that.
game universe. Like it has to be that good. And there's a lot of pressure here to get it right so that they can bounce off that. And
I think they probably accomplished that. That was a pretty good game.
Yeah. I'm still running around. Like all I got left is just fighting crime in all the districts now. Also, spoiler for the game coming out.
Yeah. What did you think of the story of the game?
I liked it.
Yeah.
It really didn't seem like they were going to set Doc Ock up. I can't talk today. Maybe it's this orange juice you're feeding me. But I thought it was going to be mainly Kingpin at the beginning, and then you jump into what's his name, Mr. Negative?
Yeah,
can't remember. Dr. Lee, Mr. Lee.
Mr. Lee is Mr. Negative. Yeah,
yeah, I thought it was going to be those two for the end of it, most of it, and then you'd see Doc Ock kind of come up at the end,
like a post credits thing.
Yeah, it's like I hate Spider-Man now. For some mystery.
You didn't watch any of the trailers though, right?
No, I stayed away from those as much as I could.
Yeah, because they didn't per se reveal Doc Ock. Like even in the game, like when he called you the first time, it just says your boss is calling. But they didn't ever reveal that in the trailers. But like you can kind of like that scene at the prison where you get beat up on the helicopter pad, and then Doc Ock shows up and he goes, "You." They showed that.
Oh yeah, I did see that one.
But they don't show Doc Ock in that trailer. But so I was kind of expecting. I think everyone was expecting it, which was. I think they played into that though. It was really well done the way they did it, because you're like, there's little snippets of like, ooh, he's kind of got a temper, and like he's testing out stuff, but he's not following all the rules. And
well, like I kind of thought that too, but like I expected it to kind of be less of a like jolt in that direction, because he really likes Peter. Yeah, like looks up to him, calls him a genius a few times, and wow, it's taken me a while to like come up with what I wanted to say, but like kind of just switches over. Like he's really all for him, and then all of a sudden, like he come in and he's got these arms figured out, and then the next thing he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of Spider-Man. Fuck that guy. Yeah, screwing up my shit."
Yeah, I really liked it though, especially because at the end, like when you've defeated him and he's kind of lying on his back or whatever, and it's like it really hits you that like he was kind of his new Uncle Ben in a way. Like he was like his mentor, that they both had the same mentality about responsibility, and like because they're smart, they need to work for the world instead of working for themselves. And it was kind of heartbreaking. Like you're just like, oh, but he went evil, so took it the wrong direction. But they really wrote that well into the story, that like that relationship really grounded everything.
But I'm curious how they're going to go forward with that, because now he, like the head of the Sinister Six, knows who Spider-Man is. Yeah.
Well, he always knew, right? That was the big reveal at the end, was that he played it off that, oh, you just make the gadgets for Spider-Man. But I think he knew like right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like,
but now like he's going to go to prison with the other Sinister Six. It's like, hey guys, I know something cool that you guys probably want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I don't
just
really
tease
like
it here and there.
Secret identities.
That's his like way of getting out of being raped in prison. It's like,
if you don't, who Spider-Man is, please don't.
Please don't touch me there. I know things that you want to know. Please.
Yeah. What did you think of? What did you think about Norman Osborn?
It's kind of a dick. I was hoping he had the cornrows like he would in the comics. But then, like, how do you take a character that seriously?
I liked. He kind of looked like Robert Redford.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing.
Yeah,
I remember like seeing. I was like, looks like someone.
I don't know. I find him more interesting when he's just like a business villain and not a Green Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I guess he was kind of interesting too when he was Iron Patriot in the comics. But I always found him more interesting, like the evil Tony Stark.
I never thought about it that way. Actually, sorry, before I forget, I know because I was going to talk about this earlier. The ending where you see Harry
right
in the tank. I haven't had I couldn't find the video online, but like, does it look like has like a symbiote on him?
Yeah,
like it's kind of stringy.
Yeah, stringy, like kind of black goo.
Yeah,
that it has around him like tendrils.
Okay,
I don't know if I like that or not
because I looked it up and someone said it was like someone mentioned it's like was that venom on him?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like no, like this is like a dark cloud. It's like, well,
but there were some tendrils that kind of reached towards Norman at the end, but
yeah, I don't know. I think I was drunk when I played that part. I know I had some drinks before that. But I don't remember that part. I was like, I think I saw tendrils.
Maybe you skipped it because it was like a post credits. I think.
No, I saw it for sure.
Okay.
I remember like when you were playing as Mary Jane in that room, I saw the tank and I was like, oh, that's definitely the Green Goblin tank for sure.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. I think like there's definitely something in there, right? But what did you think of the Mary Jane missions and the Miles missions?
I didn't like them.
Didn't?
Well, okay. You know what? I'm indifferent. They're okay. Like I see why I'm glad we had them. I'm glad they weren't just cutscenes. But
yeah, apparently like some people really hated them.
I can see why. Like you bought a Spider-Man game and then it slows you down and now you're playing as like some toned down.
I always thought they like came at the perfect time though, where I don't know, maybe because like you're doing all the crime fighting after, but I was kind of like doing it as I was going. And so it'd be like, well, I'm kind of sick of crime fighting. And then so I'll go do a story mission. And then it would be like a Mary Jane mission where it's like, oh, okay, this is different. I get to sneak around and stuff like that. And like, I didn't love all of them, but I liked, like the one I really liked was with Miles and you're in like a junkyard and Rhino's kind of like,
oh, that was really
like
cool.
actively stalking.
It was like a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I really liked that one, but, yeah, I can understand why people didn't like them though. Like if you signed up for something, like a lot of people didn't like the mini games either.
It's found a piece of dried up broccoli on the seat.
Yeah, that's from kids throw them.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. Oh, actually, my favorite was the one where you're in Union Station. Wait, no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Is that Union Station? No, Union Station is Toronto.
Be Grand Central.
Grand Central Station. Yeah, where you have Spider-Man kind of like picking off dudes.
Yeah, that was really fun. And you order him around. Yeah, that was cool.
It's different. I don't know. It just made more sense. But I don't know. I guess I would.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about it. Like, if I was playing a Spider-Man, I'd be all over the place. I wouldn't need to follow her. Right. Just tell her to sit still. Yeah. Chill out for like 2 minutes instead of making me wait around for you for 5.
Yeah. But I liked them, but I can understand why people didn't. What do you think of the story in general?
I really liked it.
Yeah.
It is.
There's a lot more Peter Parker side of it than you would expect.
I appreciate that though.
Yeah.
Because it feels more like a comic book arc. Then you're not just playing a Spider-Man the entire time. It's like everything else is kind of background.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're only getting half the story.
And then plus like there's less of it than in the movies, but like one of the things that I love to hate about Spider-Man is like the duality of Peter Parker and Spider-Man, whereas like if he chooses to be one, the other side always suffers. And so
kind of does.
Yeah, there wasn't as much in this one because a lot of the characters knew who he was. But because there's less moments where it's like, oh, Peter, why didn't you show up to the thing? You're such a coward or whatever. Like,
yeah.
And then you're just like, oh, if they only knew.
Well, like there was one scene with Aunt May, and I guess there was some incident downtown or something like that. and he had just gotten there. He's like, "Oh, Peter, it's lovely to see you. Oh, what's on the TV? Peter, where did you go?"
Yeah.
Literally, she turned around for like a second to look at the TV and be like, if that was me, I'd be like, my nephew's such a dick
Yeah.
or a coward. I don't know.
I wonder what people think of him. Because it's just like, he just sees stuff on the news and he's just gone. But I mean, I guess he does have that alibi of like, he's a photographer. So it's like, oh, I got to get over there because I'm going to take some pictures.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
In the game, he doesn't have that excuse.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, how did you feel about Aunt May dying?
Bummed me out, man.
Yeah.
I was very close to tears during that scene.
Oh, I 100% shed a tear.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I can admit that. I did cry.
I was like, I remember like, I was like, oh no, I know it's going to happen just based on how things were going.
Oh, so well done, though.
Yeah. I remember seeing like, I remember looking around and I was like, oh, good. John's not here. See me like cry like a little bitch.
Did you have a moment where you're just like, over a video game?
Well, that's like, I think that's the third time I shed a tear over a video game.
Yeah.
The first, or the other one, I can't remember the other one, but like definitely one of them was the you losing your daughter at the beginning of The Last of Us.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I made Caitlin play that.
Like, you made her play it.
Just like, look how great this game is.
And then what?
Because she has no interest in video games whatsoever. She doesn't even like to sit while I'm playing them.
Did you like take the control away from her after that scene? It was just like, all right, that's all I need you to play.
Well, that's all she was interested in. But she was like, why did you make me play that?
Yeah, I remember sitting next to Kaylee at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had just come in for that, like the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I remember like I shed a tear. I remember it was on my left eye. She was on my right. And I like wiped it away. Just like, damn, that was dark. And I was like, yeah, it's dark.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Yeah, it was really well done. And like, again, it was like, I guess that goes with what we were talking about, like where he chose Spider-Man, like a Spider-Man decision, and his personal life was affected because of it. But,
yeah. Well, someone made a comparison that's like Uncle Ben died because he did like a selfish move, but Aunt May died because he made a selfless action.
That's yeah.
Ooh.
Deep. Did you visit Ben's grave at all?
No.
I bet you can now. I bet you, because May's buried next to him. But
wait, is there a trophy there?
Maybe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe I would.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, then I would definitely look.
What did you think? There wasn't too many boss battles, but there were some. What did you think of them?
I wish there were a few more boss battles because I think I told you I was not complaining, but I was saying like, wow, I was surprised how much more difficult the combat is compared to like Arkham Asylum.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest complaint is if you dodge, like if two enemies come at you, one starts combat before the second one, there might be like a 2-second delay. If I dodge that first one, I don't automatically dodge the second one like you would in Arkham.
Yeah.
And that threw me off quite a bit. But
and like you always have to dodge in a direction. You can't just hit dodge, right?
Yeah. Like I'm at a point now where I turned the difficulty up because it was too easy. And I don't use the finishing moves anymore because
you're lazy.
No, because I want to fight longer.
That's fair.
The combat's like my favorite part in most of those games.
Oh, okay.
So, but except for the big dudes, I hate fighting the big guys.
Yeah, they're annoying.
I just I taser them. I beat on them until
yeah.
Like that special ability I used now is the quip option.
Oh yeah,
it's the least like invasive to enemies.
Okay, I don't remember. You don't really fight any of the Sinister Six by themselves, right? I guess Mr. Negative and Dr. Octopus, but like you fight Rhino and Electro together. No, Electro and Vulture together.
Electro and Vulture.
And Rhino and Scorpion. I guess you do fight Scorpion while you're tripping out when he poisons you.
Not really.
I guess not. But yeah, again, that was like all the boss fights. It's just they don't really change the combat, which I guess is realistic in the sense of like,
yeah.
But
I fought Electro and Vulture for way too long. Because you're supposed to take Vulture out first. At least because I was beating on Electro for a long time.
Oh, really? I think I took Electro out first.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because he had the batteries going off, right?
Yeah.
I think after you do 3 batteries, he's down. Maybe. I don't know. I can't remember. But
so I was punching on Electro for a while. And then I was dodging Vulture at the same time. And I was like, maybe I have to fight Vulture first. Mm-hmm. But then Vulture went down in like one string of combos.
Yeah.
And then Electro went down after with one string. So I was like,
What'd you think of their costumes?
I think I liked everyone except for Rhino.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't really like rhinos.
I don't believe that there's a dude that size with a small plate of armor around him.
Yeah.
Because you can see his skin underneath and like the cracks of the armor.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, really? Yeah. This guy's the size of a tank? It's going to have a short lifespan.
Yeah. Like Andre the Giant. Yeah, I didn't really like rhinos. I didn't really like Electros. I admit that I've always been a fan of like the really ridiculous, like the yellow the 5-star mask. Yeah. But I guess he did kind of have that. His scars were kind of in that.
I like the scars.
But
I thought he wasn't blue.
Actually, all the character design, everybody looked like regular people.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone was like good looking, but not Hollywood good looking.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really liked that.
Yeah, like, Mary Jane was, I don't know.
Like Aunt May felt like, I was like, I think I know that woman. Like
Mary Jane stood to me like, oh, I always picture her like, well, in the comics, she's like a model, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, that's not what I would picture. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But like, she looks like a girl I went to school with that I had a huge crush on.
Oh yeah.
I was like
the girl next door.
Tiffany? What the? Is she a model now? Is she a video game model?
Tiffany, if you're listening, Victor had a crush on you.
Oh, she knows. She knows, 100%.
Didn't reciprocate. Anyway, Mary Jane too. They made her a journalist. They played it down, but they did something that I could have been really ticked at, which it's a character stereotype that I don't really like in media, where it's like it's usually a girl who is this character. They, for whatever reason, decide that they're not going to listen, and they go openly into danger, and then the protagonist has to go and save them. Mm. So Lois Lane was like the worst.
Oh yeah,
for that. I always kind of liked Lois Lane, and then I started watching the Superman animated adventures, like the Paul
animated adventures.
Yeah, adventures. Yeah. She was really bad in that show for that, because like they just had to every week figure out a reason to work her into the episode. But like there was one where I think Superman was fighting Metallo, and they were at like an island where an active volcano was going off.
Of course.
And Superman gives her a kid and is like, take this kid and get out of here. And she's like, yeah, okay. And then she's like, but the story. And she stays there. And it's like, okay, it's one thing if you're going to be like, no, I'm going to stay near the, like, she's literally like 5 feet from like molten lava that is like going down the hill.
It's warm.
It's one thing. It's one thing to be like, well, I'm going to roll the dice with my life. But like, come on, he gave you a kid to go take away. And you're like, no, I'm going to make sure that I find out what
from
happens.
The island though? Or did he go away and like zip around the earth, grab a kid, bring it to her? It's like, all right, if I give her a kid, she'll bail.
Maybe she'll bail. No, but that was like the most egregious time. And I was like, come on. Like, it's so annoying. Kate does it a lot in Lost.
Okay.
Have you watched Lost before?
No, I haven't.
No. Anyway, Kate did it a lot in Lost. And so like the second time I went through that show, I was like, Kate pisses me off.
Wait, who played Kate?
Evangeline Lilly.
Oh.
Which would have been a good segue into our next topic, but we're still talking about PS4.
We'll save that for later.
Yeah. You can ask me again.
I'll ask you again.
But yeah, and so I was kind of expecting when they made Mary Jane a journalist, especially because the first time you play her, she's doing exactly what Lois Lane would do, which is like lie about why you're there. And then you go, oh, okay, I'll leave. And then sneak around and find your clues that you want for your story. But with the partnership storyline, they kind of
negated that.
Yeah, a little
softened
bit.
That a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So I was all set to hate her, but they did better with it.
Yeah, I liked that they did that partnership thing, and like I liked her reasoning for it. It's like I don't like being saved all the time. I'm tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do my own thing. And then you can save me if I really need it. Actually, that last one where you're sneaking through, grabbing the info on where that last guy, basically the guy who's developing the antibody for the drug, the dragon's breath,
mm-hmm.
and you're in Norman Osborn's
yeah, that was an interesting one.
And then she was like, okay, well, like stick around, be in the area. I'll call you when I need you. So then Spider-Man took a backseat, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, and like she had a taser. It's actually taking guys down.
Yeah, nice. Why would you get a taser? Like she found that. She found that like just coincidentally where I needed it. Yeah. That's one thing I hate about video games when they do that. It's like Zelda's like the worst one. It's like, oh, you're in this dungeon. But luckily, you found this thing to get through all those puzzles in that dungeon at the beginning.
Apparently, the first Zelda is not like that. You just find them willy-nilly. But
yeah, but that's too far back in gaming history that I don't. Yeah, it doesn't exist to me anymore.
Yeah, I never played it, but apparently
they're doing the symbiote suit in the next game. I guess is revolving around that. If they do another one,
that would be interesting. I'd like to see them do
people
that.
Were complaining about. Like that was the most asked for suit. They were like, no, we're saving that for the next game.
That would make sense why they're doing it. My most asked suit was the actual Ben Reilly suit.
Yeah.
Like not the Scarlet Spider, but the Ben Reilly Spider-Man, which was my favorite suit growing up. But
I like mine was the Scarlet Spider. I thought that was going to be 100% the suit I used the most. Mm-hmm. But I generally have been playing that game with a drink or two in me. Mm-hmm. So every time there's an event, like there's a crime or whatever, I put on my crime suit, which is Spider-Man Noir suit. Gotta be a criminal to catch a criminal.
I always used the Homecoming suit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looked the best. I did use used his original costume a lot too. I didn't like the one they designed strictly for the game.
Oh, I really like it. I was considering getting the Hot Toys version of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
He looks buff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, actually, I guess the Black Widow movie is a go.
Yeah, they had a director. I think maybe last month they confirmed a director. I don't know who it is. That's one of the problems with Hollywood that they're starting to fix is that they didn't really hire women directors for big movies. So like when they announce that a woman director is directing something, they're like, oh yeah, there are other movies where these two movies that you've never heard of and definitely have never seen.
You know why they do that though?
What is that?
It's because they can pay them a little bit less.
Yeah, so I don't like. Yeah, she was hired. There was also another woman hired for the Eternals movie.
What's the Eternals?
Eternals is it's basically like a group of superpowered individuals. They're made by the Celestials. So they're kind of like how the Kree made the Inhumans, the Celestials made the Eternals. And there's two.
Wait, the Kree made the Inhumans?
Yeah.
Wow, I know a lot less than I thought.
Yeah, you do.
Such a nerd.
Anyway, they made the Eternals, and so they're like superpowered individuals, and they're really old, and so it's like one of those things where they forget who they are, and so they have to be like reminded, and so like they come around and be like, hey, you're the Eternal Icarus, wake up, and they're like, what? And then all of a sudden they have a flash, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm Icarus.
That sounds
Let's
like
go
lazy
fight
writing.
some crime. Yeah, I'm not too excited about them. When they announced the movie, there was a sale on Comixology for Eternals, and so I picked up one of their graphic novels and read it. And I was like, "What the heck is going on?" I didn't really understand it or who anyone was, and they're going ahead with it, obviously, because they got a director.
And that's the first time I've heard about the Eternals.
Yeah, I didn't know who they were, but to be fair, I didn't know who the Guardians of the Galaxy were before they decided to make a movie about them. And then I did the same thing back then when they announced it. I was like, maybe I should check it out. So I started reading them, and they are awesome. So get why they would make a movie out of them.
I'm trying to find that a bit of concept art for Iron Man from Avengers 4.
Okay.
Where allegedly it looks like his golden red armor from like the 90s, where it's the gold goes all the way to the shoulders, no armor. There's no armor there's no shoulder pads.
Yeah.
How do you feel with that?
I don't know. I think it's kind of like a cool homage, and it's kind of like a funny contrast of like his most high-tech suit represents one of his more low-tech suits from the comics.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird when they like the gold part had muscles on it. Well, the whole like it was basically like a skin-tight suit with a few mechanical things on it. Yeah. I'm hoping they won't do that. I'm trying to find it.
I think it's just like it'll be nano, right? Like it'll be a nanobite. What is it called?
Just trying to like, he puts it on at first and it's like, oh, confirm my muscles, make me look badass.
Yeah.
Then Thor's just like, yeah, get rid of the muscles. Get rid of those. give me my armor back.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think I have to see it. Like concept art always looks really great. And then sometimes it doesn't translate. Sometimes it translates really well. So I have to see it.
You remember the concept art they had for Iron Man's workshop? Like for the first movie, It looked like what you would expect from a concept artist, where it was like they fill in the background with just like crap, just clutter. So like they had like initially standing there at like a bench, or whatever, and there's just cables. There's like scrap parts everywhere. You don't see the floor. You don't see what the walls look like because it's just covered with stuff.
Okay, so you're saying you don't like that?
I don't like concept art for that reason because like to present things, they kind of have to fudge things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the more clutter there is, it just kind of makes it a more interesting visual.
Yeah, which I'm sure like production designers hate because it's like, because there's more clutter than it like.
Yeah. Why would this billionaire genius inventor have all this crap laying around? Yeah. Well, okay, maybe you can argue that too, but not for Tony Stark.
No.
But anyways, yeah.
He's very efficient, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember seeing that and it's like, that doesn't look anything like how his shop looks like in the movies.
Yeah, that's fair. And then speaking of directors for Marvel movies, Ryan Coogler was announced this week that he is coming back to write and direct Black Panther 2, which I'm pretty excited about. I really liked the first Black Panther, and Ryan Coogler is a crazy good director.
I guess I don't know. I was thinking to myself on the way over, I was like, I guess they're doing that now for all these movies. Guardians of the Galaxy has the same director.
Not anymore.
Well, not anymore. Damn it.
Anyway.
There's so much pressure on the next guy who comes in.
It's such a thankless job. Like, no matter if he does a great job, it'd still be like, well, it's no James Gunn movie.
Yeah. To be fair, the second Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of
It wasn't as good as the first. I think we'll talk about that in a little bit, but like Marvel has a problem with their second sequel, with the exception of Winter Soldier. It's always never as good as the first one.
Because I guess Thor's the only one that's had a different director every time, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say Iron Man, but they had,
because Jon Favreau came back for two.
Number 2, yeah. And then was it Shane Black for number 3?
Yeah.
Did it feel like a Shane Black film?
Yeah, it did. I think that's why a lot of people didn't like it at the time, which is kind of funny because like now everyone's like, oh, I really liked Thor Ragnarok because that feels like a Taika Waititi movie, or I really liked Guardians 2 because that feels like a James Gunn movie or whatever. But back then it was like, no, it doesn't feel like the rest of the movies. It feels like a Shane Black movie.
Who directed Ant-Man? Like the two of them.
Peyton Reed.
Both?
Yeah.
Oh.
So he's a comedy director. He did The Breakup and Down with Love, I think. Oh, and Yes Man was his latest one, I think, with Jim Carrey.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. What did you think about the second one? You watched it again recently.
Yesterday. I had it playing while I was working yesterday. I think it's one of those, it's a Marvel movie, so it's not one of their great ones, but I think Marvel has a pretty good reputation for, even if it's not great, it's still kind of good. Mm-hmm. And I think that one falls squarely on that peg where it's good. And I think when you're done watching it, you kind of concentrate more on the things you didn't like with it, as opposed to other ones. Because I found while I was watching, I was like, well, this is a lot better than I remember it being. But then,
oh really? Because when I watched it the second time, I was the opposite. I was like, this is worse than I remember it being.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Like there's lots of things to like in it. There's a few negative things I don't like, which we can get to. But what did you like about it? First off,
I really liked the whole idea of Scott being like housebound. Like under house arrest.
Yeah, I liked that kind of continuity of the consequences and stuff.
Well, that and like his daughter seemed to be, I guess, well, she knows obviously from the first movie that he's Ant-Man, but like I like that she kind of like kept pushing him. It's like, you should do more Ant-Man stuff. You should help people. Mm-hmm. Which
I like that too.
Different from what you would usually get from like supporting cast.
And he's interesting too because with the exception of Hawkeye, who they don't really pay too much attention to, like he's the only dad superhero. He's the only one who has like an actual family he has to worry about back home. Well,
we have like with Spider-Man and Ant-Man, you have a bit more variety in there right now. Mm-hmm. You have one that's a kid that has other responsibilities and a dad that has a kid that he has to look out for.
Right. Yeah.
But you don't have that with anyone else. Nobody else in the universe is like, committed to anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like Tony has a girlfriend, but he routinely ignores what she wants and just does his own thing because he's a dick. And
everyone in Cap's life is dead.
Or a superhero.
Yeah. So irrelevant.
Yeah. But yeah, I really the cast is brought over from the second movie for the most part. Like they're all really good. Like they're really likable. Hank Pym is a character that I just love from the comics. So I always like seeing him, and Michael Douglas is a phenomenal actor. So I like that he had more stuff to do than just being the exposition machine that he was in the first one.
Oh yeah, I guess he was.
But yeah, and he was funnier in this one too. But you kind of see it every now and then that he has a hard time keeping up with Paul Rudd comically. But
it's because he's old.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other Michael Douglas movies.
There's a ton.
There's a ton.
There's a ton. He's been working for like 45 years. Probably.
Is he like Sam Jackson, where he's just been in every movie that you can think of?
No, he's usually in like leading roles and stuff. But he's done
name like two good ones, or not too good, but like two well-known ones that he's been in.
Basic Instinct.
Crap.
One. Wall Street was another one. I think he won an Oscar for that one. He hasn't really been in like. He's been in popular movies, but he hasn't been in like popcorn movies, if that makes sense.
I didn't watch a lot of movies growing up. It was always like either action flicks or comedies.
He was in some. He usually plays kind of like business types or like plays guys who kind of have like dark past or are unsavory. They're not like Boy Scouts.
Like, I killed a woman, but now I'm on Wall Street and I had to hide.
Well, no,
my basic instinct.
Yeah,
to brag about it.
Victor has not seen any of these movies.
It's true. It's terrible.
But he was in a movie called Romancing the Stone, which was kind of an Indiana Jones type movie.
Does he make love to the earth?
No. He does make love to Kathleen Turner, though.
She's a stone cold person.
Kathleen Turner has not aged well to the point where she played Chandler's dad in Friends.
Oh, no.
But yeah, she has this great smoky voice. So anyway, Michael Douglas. Yeah, I like him. And the action. What did you think of the action?
I liked it.
Yeah. They really go into the shrinking and growing.
Yeah. That's like, well, obviously that's like their gimmick for that superhero, right? Mm-hmm. But like they executed it really well, especially that one where Evangeline Lilly's in that kitchen trying to grab that thing and she's just like all over them, shrinking and growing.
Yeah. And throwing. Yeah. I like that too. Like the stuntman, there are a few times they lean into the hits. Mm-hmm. You can see like there's one that's kind of like really noticeable with the, she like hits a pot of boiling water at a guy and he like turns his head into it so he catches the pot with his face.
Okay. I was going to be in defense. It's like, well, sometimes, sometimes you want to like lean into the fist so that you can kind of dodge it. That's like boxers do it, right? You kind of weave into the fist. So
yeah. Or headbutt their fists or whatever.
Yeah,
but I thought the same thing when I was like watching. Like, I think it's just like, oh, that pot's going over there. I need to catch it for the stun to work. And and it's full of water. So if I miss it, then I have to change my shirt and then we have to reset and like it's a waste of time. But anyway, I really like the growing and shrinking. A lot of it though is shown in the trailers. So it's kind of underwhelming when you get there. And then of course there's like the giant man reveal.
I like that there's such a limitation on the giant man thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do like that they added like he can't be it for long and like it makes him pass out because it's just too much. Yeah.
That makes more sense for the Civil War thing where he like basically shrinks back down. He's like, orange slices?
Yeah.
Anyone?
Yeah.
Because I remember that's what my gym teacher gave me when I got lightheaded in gym class.
What was orange slices? I always thought of it as like a soccer thing because like that's what people would bring to soccer games. But maybe that's for that reason.
It was either orange slices or like orange juice because it was like the citrus in it, I think.
And the sugar would just, yeah. That's what they give you after you give blood, right? To get your sugar back up.
I never got that.
You went to the wrong blood donor place.
Actually, that kitchen scene, I thought the one thing that like really stood out for me was her throwing that salt shaker and growing it at the right time and to the right size. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you dictate how big those things grow? Because when she threw that Hello Kitty thing out of that van, it grew a lot bigger than that salt shaker did.
Yeah, but they're not. I mean, the Pez dispenser would have been a little bit larger than a salt shaker to begin with. But
yeah, I guess.
But yeah, you have to just suspend your disbelief a little bit. Like,
no,
it's a movie about guys who talk to ants and shrink down. And
no. Oh, actually, one thing I was talking about. They didn't show the ant thing as much.
Ant thing.
Like him controlling ants and stuff.
Talking about there's ants all over that movie. They're like lab assistants in the thing.
But like they kind of just do their own thing, which I also thought was kind of strange.
Okay.
Because they didn't have to really control them. They were just like All right.
I mean, he rides ants and like he makes them go over cameras and stuff like that. And,
I guess you can only use that so much as like a focus for one movie.
Well, and it's also like
just,
people know he can do that. Why waste time showing him going like, all right, I need you to go over here, like, and do that.
I just like seeing that.
Yeah. But it's too bad that like it works really well in Civil War with like the giant man reveal, but like this movie coming after it, it's kind of like, yeah, what else do you got?
How about a suit that doesn't work all the time consistently?
Yeah, there's some good bits with that. And that worked, I think. What did you think about Louise and the other security guard?
Oh, definitely my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah?
100%.
Okay. Yeah, I guess like I don't like it as much. I don't like it when you have a sequel like that and it's like, well, we have to include all the characters from the other one where it's like, it's okay. You can kind of just tell an Ant-Man story. You don't need to include his roommate or whatever. Like that was the thing I didn't like about Thor: The Dark World was there's like, why do you need to have Darcy back? Like, I don't. She doesn't need to be here.
I like Darcy.
All right. We'll get to that movie another podcast, but anyway, yeah, it didn't ruin the movie for me, but that was one thing.
What's that?
Michael Pena is really funny. I like him.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a Michael.
Maybe it's like Mikael because he's
Latino.
Worse.
That's worse.
He has an umlaut over the N in his name. I don't know. Anyway, that's not an umlaut. Umlaut's the circle, right?
I've lost track of what you've been talking about.
I'm talking grammar and spelling. Anyway, I really liked the action. I really liked the cast. Like Paul Rudd is great in everything he does, but they really make Scott Lang likable. Oh, Randall Park as the FBI agent. Woo. He was really funny. I really liked him.
Well, before I saw that, it was after. After I saw that, I saw he did some comedy skit or a comedy story for Ari.
Where he poops himself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I showed that to you.
No, he showed it to me, but I had already seen it before.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I can't take him seriously. I mean, not that you would take a comedian seriously, but it's like, that's the police officer. And he's talking about shitting himself.
Yeah. But I really liked him. He was a good foil. Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing with I was talking about with Louise, like including Scott's ex-wife and her new husband. Mm. Like I guess you get it because you can't really do it without Cassie, but like it's kind of like, do they all need to be coming back?
I liked that aspect.
Yeah,
because then it was like she's obviously involved in dropping her daughter off, and you can see the relationship has grown from the first one. It's like, maybe you shouldn't come see Cassie anymore. To oh my goodness, you're part of the family. You want to come over for Thanksgiving? Yeah. Wait, did that happen?
They had dinner at the end. I don't know if it was Thanksgiving, but so let's talk about the villain. What did you think of the villain? Ghost.
Oh, I forgot about her.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
You didn't like her?
Not really. I don't know. I liked her abilities. I liked how they executed her and her motivations. Because, if I was dying, 100%, I don't care what's going on. I'm living. People can die. I'm selfish.
Yeah. You get that. The character Ghost in the comics doesn't really have a backstory at all. It's just, you don't even really know who they are. Like,
they were always a ghost. Mystery.
Yeah. It's kind of implied that it's the suit that does it. But I agree. I didn't really like her as much. I do like when they have a superhero movie where the villain does not have the same powers as the hero.
Mm-hmm. Or like when the villain's not really a villain and they just going about things their own way. But
I'm kind of getting sick of that, to be honest.
Really?
I like understanding their motivations, but I kind of just want what's so wrong with having just a guy who wants to rob banks? Like they've kind of gone away from that.
Yeah, I guess I like it when they go like different opposite ends of the spectrum where it's like this guy is just a dick.
Yeah,
because he wants to be, and the opposite side where it's like I'm trying to do the right thing in my mind, and it involves wiping out half the universe.
And maybe some other people wouldn't be, but I would be fine if they just did a villain where you don't really find out anything about them. You don't need to know why they're doing what they're doing. The point is they're just in the way. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just me though. And I guess it depends on who's playing them too, because you'd have to have a really charismatic actor so that you like them. I'm not saying I would have enjoyed it more, but like if Ghost was just like following them around, they're like, who is this ghost person? Why did she keep messing with us? And they just never explained it.
Does she have super strength?
I don't know. I
Because
think
she kicked Paul Rudd through a wall.
That's true.
I thought that was so badass. It looked really fake, but I was like, man, that's a good kick.
Yeah. And her and Bill, like I do like how they're kind of starting to hint that Hank is a douche and has been like a jerk his entire life and kind of pushes people away and has a bad temper and stuff like that.
You think he's going to start beating on his wife in the next movie?
I don't think they'll ever go that far. If they didn't show Tony Stark as a true blown alcoholic, they're not going to have him beat his wife. But,
yeah, I know. It's phase 4. Things change. It's going to be like nothing
we live in a
seen.
world now. Just after the Me Too movement, we thought it'd be okay to have one of our heroes beat his wife for no reason.
We're relevant.
Yeah, that's a way to make him likable, more relatable, right?
Yeah.
Right, guys?
Well, then you make Paul Rudd. It's like, oh, he's such a nice guy, even though he steals.
Yeah.
At least he doesn't beat his wife.
But speaking of his wife, Janet, I think that is the thing I did not like the most.
Where she had the one thing that cured the whole issue from
the whole thing with Janet. I liked Michelle Pfeiffer. I liked the way that she played the character. It was just, it's just kind of sloppy the way that she just tied everything up at the end. And like the biggest thing for me was like, she's been in the quantum realm for 30 years, was it? And she's the exact same person as she came out. Like she looks older.
Yeah.
But like none of the experience changed her. Like Hank went insane within 5 minutes of being in there.
Maybe he's just weak.
Weak-minded.
I mean,
the future is female Victor. But no, like I just didn't. I think it would have been more interesting if they saved her in like the middle of the movie, and then she was like nuts, or like they slowly realize that she's not who she was anymore, or something like that, and she kind of becomes the villain or something, or like, and then that's fine if they bring her back at the end and she's good, but like.
Yeah.
That
like she's one of those characters that are like, you rescue them, but then because of the state of mind that they're in, she's actually more of a hindrance.
Yeah. Because they're never the same again, right?
She's like, causing issues for the whole team. And like, yeah, I thought that'd been interesting. I feel like that would have been the better route.
But, you know, it was just weird that, because they spent the entire movie getting to her and then it's like they got her in 10 minutes and she solves everything.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, I'm back and I'm totally fine. And oh, look, I have these powers that'll heal your problems. And
I wish she didn't give her powers. But like, yeah, you think about it, like I spent like a week and a half in Banff by myself, and I started nuts. Like I was talking to this guy. And I was like, yeah, man, I don't know if I could spend that much time by myself. You know, I was talking to myself. He's like, oh no, it's fine to talk to yourself, but the worst is when you start answering it. And I was like, I know it was like 3 days. It only took me 3 days to start talking to myself and answering myself. But like she spent like 30 years there.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
How do you come out of that?
Well, how did she eat? Like,
I questioned that too. But like my biggest question is like, how did she get that cool outfit?
Well, that was her outfit. Well, yeah. Where did she get the cloak?
Yeah,
right?
Like that wasn't part of the costume.
Yeah. Like I get that she has like a giant sword on her back that she made out of the wing, but like,
was that made out of the wing? That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. Yeah, if you look at it, there's like the webbing of a wing on it.
So she gave up flight for weapons. So she chose to fight over flight.
Yeah. Yes, she did. Yeah. So I didn't really like
aggressive woman
that. And plus, like Hank, I always found him more inherently interesting in the movies because he had lost his wife. Mm-hmm. And it was like he spent his entire life pushing everyone away, and then the one person he didn't push away, he loses, and then. Like he just ruins the rest of his life trying to get her back. And I think that's more interesting. So he's kind of a boring character now because he has his happy ending. Yeah. It's like, what is he going to do? Like now he's not Antman anymore. Like he's going to live in his house on the beach with his wife. And
oh yeah, they're on that beach.
And so I don't know. It just didn't ring that well for me, but that being said, I just spent the entire movie ripping it apart, and you're defending it, and you're the one who didn't like it as much as I did. What did you think of the post-credit scene?
I think it was necessary.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but it was necessary.
I think that was one of their better ones.
Showing everyone disappearing. Although, how convenient is it that like 3 characters disappeared and like the 3 main characters disappeared?
Yeah. And I think it was one of their better post-credit scenes. And actually, when I went to the theater to see this, there was a thunderstorm happening outside while it happened. And the power went out in the last 5 minutes of the movie.
That makes sense.
And it came back on at one point, but the audio wasn't there. So we watched the post-credit scene without any dialogue. So everyone was freaking out because like they didn't, because it was like a complete surprise because it wasn't like
that's kind of cool.
We heard the radio cut out and be like, oh man, what happened to them? Oh no. And it was just like they cut back and they're just ash. And so everyone was freaking out. And then it's kind of funny because a lady came in to be like, okay, we're sorry about the power outage, but do you want us to go back to the 5 minutes that you missed to the credits, or do you want to go back to the post-credit scene? And they're like, well, we want to finish the movie.
Why is that even a question?
I don't know. But anyway, she did that, but there was like someone like piped up, was like, are you guys going to give us like free tickets for this? And I was kind of like, really? Like we missed 5 minutes, but then they're rewinding it for us.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, because we were rewinding it, I don't think so. Yeah. And someone was like, what? You ruined the movie. It's opening night and you ruined the movie. And I was like,
that guy.
And like, it was kind of funny because like the theater turned on him and I was like, we missed 5 minutes. Like, it's fine. Or actually we were like, it was a thunderstorm. It is no way the theater's fault that the power went out. And someone in the back is like, just get a generator. It's not that hard. It's a freaking movie theater, not a hospital. Like, what do you expect? Like,
how much a generator would cost to run that place?
I know, right?
Imagine like a theater, the power goes out and you have to like keep that generator on for like what, 10, 12 theaters running for at least 2 hours.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway,
Fuck that guy.
So that lady was smart and she was just like, if you want to talk about getting a free ticket, come out and talk to me after the movie. But we're not wasting anyone else's time.
Yeah. Now you're ruining the movie. Are you going to pay anyone else's ticket?
Yeah. Anyway, so we watched that post-credit scene in silence the first time.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I dig that.
Yeah. But it was, and I think is because I remember reading reviews for Antman and The Wasp and they're like, oh man, it's such a great sequel. It's the best sequel since Winter Soldier. And I was like, not really. And I thought about it. I was like, I bet you everyone was just on that high from that post-credit scene. Because everyone still kind of had Infinity War in their minds. And it's like, oh, they're gone too. So those are my thoughts on Antman and the Wasp.
I liked it. I think it was in my top 5, but like a couple of weeks after I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's definitely fallen past that.
Yeah, I'd say it's on the lower tier of MCU movies. But it in no ways makes it a bad movie. It's just not as great as their other movies, which it's getting hard to pick like a top 5 because they've gotten so many great ones.
All right, let's wrap it up. I got to go home and pack.
Yeah.
This flight at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
5 minutes. I got to go have lunch with the people too.
Oh, yeah. Stay tuned for next episode where Victor will be
in Iceland.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Mm-hmm. I was going to take a mic with me, just me and John in the camper van.
And just hold it together.
That might be what we have to do, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to do it.
All right.
Might be weird. Who knows? You'll find out.
Yeah.
When you see the next episode.
Maybe there'll be a break between episodes and it'll just be Victor and I again for the next one, but we'll see.
Trying to get Adrian to come on and talk about his keto diet. He's stuck with it. He's stuck with the keto diet. He's just straight up eating steak and cream cheese now.
That's disgusting.
It is so terrible for your health. But apparently he's sticking to it. So I'm going to see him for lunch today and see what
happens.
I should just get a recorder and just because I don't like. I see how the keto diet works, but I don't see what he's doing, how he's approaching it. Makes sense. It just seems terrible for your health.
Anyway, we'll get to that.
Anyways, thanks for having me over today. That was awesome.
Yeah, no problem. We'll see you guys next week on The Average Uninformed.
Bye.